I look at all of this as an opportunity to grow and to reach people that I typically wouldn't reach if I were doing what I was doing before.
My name is Michael Damond. I'm the Chief Marketing Consultant of WeMergeMedia.com and the host of the podcast Uncover Your Greatness. My guest today is Yolanda Hunter of Go Yo Go Fitness. And Yolanda is a personal trainer. We've been friends for 30 years, and she contacted me to talk about how she might be able to take her business online. Yolanda typically works in fitness centers and has to go from different locations to provide personal training and group fitness classes. We've kept in touch over the years, and Yolanda has always been known as an athlete. She's always been physically fit. She's been somebody who's had this go get him type attitude. She's competitive, which she talks about in this video, and she's about getting her business and doing her thing. So when the coronavirus happened and she had to adjust her business to accommodate social distancing, she found herself in a position where she could either panic or she can pivot. And of course, being who Yolanda is, she chose to do the pivot. Yolanda will share some backstory about why she started her business and why she called it Go Yo Go Fitness. And then she'll also talk about how the work that we did for her as We Merge Media is going to help her moving forward in her business. There's a little bit of lag in the beginning of the video, but don't worry, it'll clear up as the interview continues. So take a listen to my conversation with Yolanda Hunter of GoYoGoFitness.com and see what lessons you can take away from Yolanda's experience.
I am a personal trainer, fitness instructor, water instructor. So I teach classes in the water. I teach boot camps. I train children, silver sneakers. Anybody that's moving, my role is to move them and push them to be their very best. And I absolutely love it. So up until we were all sent home to work from home and, do the social distancing thing, I was working at a couple facilities, and I was also privately training in a studio. That was the majority of how I was making my income. And in the back of my mind, I always knew that it would be important to have a website, to have a lot of social media contact, to be able to engage people on a greater scale, because I was limited to being in the studio. I look at all of this as an opportunity to expand and really lay a solid foundation for my brand, for my business, to grow and to reach people that I typically wouldn't reach if I were doing what I was doing before. A little bit about where Go Yo Go Fitness comes from. A few years ago, my mom was diagnosed with cancer, and it was the reality of that and walking through that. That was the hardest thing that I ever had to walk through. And I think that grief, it just it doesn't go away. It just changes with time. But I think understanding and seeing myself go through this and press through this and come out winning just a little bit more each and every day, I realized that what I had to give was to help people understand and know that they can press through hard times and that there's something great on the other end. But in order to be able to speak into people's lives in that way, I knew that I had to be bold and brave and courageous and be willing to press through and kind of be first in a sense and have some experience, because people really don't know how much they don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. They want to know that you can relate, that you've been through something, that you've had some hard knocks, for them to really buy into what you're saying. Go yo go. It's really not all about me, but it's about me going through these challenging things to be able to show other people that they can do it too. So I have to go, in a way. Yo has to go in order to keep telling other people that they can go too, and pulling them along. So I just thought, go yo go. I've got the O's and it kind of rhymes, and that's my thing. That's my jam.
I like it. And I like the story too. It's not complicated about what it means to you. And I
Yeah.
think for any of us who are in like service-based industry where we're kind of leading others or helping to develop other people, it's important that you have some experience living what people are going through.
Yeah.
And at least I think it's helpful, very helpful in being able to be someone that people can trust and believe in, because if you've gone through it and you've come out on the other side, then you can share with other people how you've done that, and maybe they'll be able to learn from your experience and your story.
Yeah, absolutely. I consider myself the underdog from day one, from the time I was smacked on my butt when I was born and till now. So I am the underdog, and I'm a fan of the underdog, and I root for the underdog. And when you only live for 59 years, and just the reality of that, doesn't have to be your mom, it could be someone else that's close to you. Think about it, and you think about the time that you have here on planet Earth to contribute, and tomorrow is not a promise. I mean, come on, what are you waiting for? What are you waiting for? There's the unknown, there's the fear of, oh, I might mess up, I might make a mistake. But if someone told you you had 6 weeks to live today, like what are you going to do first? So that should be a clue about what you should be moving towards. We don't want to live in a state of anxiety and panic, but there should be urgency and direction. And I kind of feel like asking yourself that question. Every so often I'll ask myself that question. It's like, yeah, what am I doing? Am I on track? Am I doing what I was meant to do, and contributing into the lives of other people the way that I was meant to? So
when we know that our time is limited, we prioritize differently.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
like we can keep that in mind, that our time is always limited because we don't know when it's going to be.
No, we don't.
You can shape them priorities, and it really is about getting over the fear of making the mistakes and not doing it perfectly. Like I had to learn that, and honestly it's to the point now where I actually fear not doing something more than I fear doing it and doing it wrong.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I'm the fear of not knowing what would have been on the other side of that thing had I done it is a worse fear to me than making a mistake.
Yeah, like it would haunt you. I want to be able to say that every single bit of my creative talents and abilities, all of it was used. All of it. Every single ounce of it. Writing a book. Yeah. It's coming, Mike. It's coming.
Oh yeah, we definitely doing that. I think the name of the book was Die Empty. This author that I used to follow, he had a book that he wrote called Die Empty. And it was about that. It's just like, I need to know that I gave everything in me.
Yeah.
And did what I was supposed to do, with my time. And that really puts things in perspective.
Well, I was just thinking about the website and just wanting to give you props for just an amazing job.
Thank you much. I was just about to transition to that and talk a little bit about, like where you were to where you are. So you kind of covered it in the beginning where you talked about why you had to make that pivot and why the website became important to you. What opportunities have you seen so far? You've only been launched about a week. Like what's happened so far in this first?
Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness. Okay. So explosive. The most amazing part to me is just these people that I've known for years that maybe watched me grow up or performed with back in the day with Drum and Bugle Corps or played sports with. Now they have an opportunity to work out with me in a way that they never would have before. So all of that is launched and available. So I've got my friends' moms working out. You tried a couple workouts and you're across the other side of the country, and people in France, people in China. So just being able to give people access to that and have Go Fitness, simple, easy, it's consistent, where people can just look it up. Oh my gosh. I mean, it's been amazing. And it looks great. It looks polished. People are like razzle dazzled. And I'm like, this is what I do. And in all honesty, with over 20 years in and out of the fitness industry, I almost kind of feel like there's that much more urgency because I kind of, waffled a little. There's a little uncertainty, and that's normal. I don't want to kick myself for that, but there was a time that I stepped out of it. And so now, I'm competitive, right? So part of me is kind of like, I need to catch up in a way. So where a lot of people are kind of surprised, like, wow, what is she doing next? I'm like, no, this was this has been in the making for a while. You're just beginning to see it, manifest.
Yeah.
You're just beginning to see it manifest, but it's always. My cousin just sent a picture of me, and we're jumping rope. I've been a tomboy my whole life, but we're jumping rope and it's like double Dutch. I could never get double Dutch right. But she sent me a picture today. She's like, yo, you've been jumping rope boot camping since day one. So my favorite is being able to send people to the website and with ease, helping them to sign up and get connected to be a part of my live virtual classes. So I've got some people back in Wisconsin. I'm in Minnesota now, but back in Wisconsin, people signing up and I'm getting notifications. I'm like, this is like great. This is something that's going to just go on its own. I don't have to babysit other than a couple of clicks and accept them into the group. Foundationally, this is, it's just so cool. And the time that we're in right now, where there's a lot of uncertainty with job and like what's going to happen. Like, are we ever going to go back to the studios in the way that we used to? Is fitness ever going to be the same? It kind of gives me a sense of peace, knowing that there's been something that's created that's going to generate some income that's not connected to all of these outside things. Which are great, but the world is changing. So it gives me sort of a sense of peace, knowing that that's solid. And on that foundation, there's so much to build on. It's just, I'm like, I'm good right now. I'm nice. I'm feeling good.
Nice. You touched on something that's important, and that's what I want people watching this to really understand is that if you don't have the proper infrastructure or the right foundation in place, it's going to be very hard for you to build the thing that you need to build. So, and just kind of recapping what we've done for Yolanda. So she told the story in the beginning how she was working in a studio, and the studios, because of the COVID-19, had to close, and people are doing things from home. So we use this, and she chose to use this as an opportunity to figure out how can I continue doing what I love to do, but then also lay the foundation for the business that I want to build in the future that I want for myself. So what we've done for her is we built her a website, but we didn't just build her a website. We built her a system that's going to allow her to be able to accept people online for membership, a system to be able to generate income from her passively, so she doesn't have to do anything different than she was doing before. You were doing crazy workout videos live on Facebook daily, like nonstop. And it was good. It was good content. It got people interested. It got people familiar with what you did. And you can continue to do that. But now some of that content is now behind being part of the Go Yo Go crew. You had to be a member of the Go Yo Go crew to get access to some of her videos now. So we systematized that. She continues to do what she does, and the website becomes the employee. I want people to really start thinking about the website being that 24/7 employee who doesn't need health benefits, only costs $1,000 a year to maintain. Like make that sucker work. No free rides.
That's right.
That's cool. That's awesome, yo. Anything else that you wanted to share? I'm happy that we've gotten you to this place, and we'll continue to work with you and provide you with some guidance, because I know you talked about YouTube and trying to figure out what to do there. So I'll continue working with you in that case. But we have the foundation that you need in place, and I think that I'm excited to see what you're going to do and how things are going to go. But anything you'd like to say in closing?
Yeah, well, absolutely. You mentioned before that I pivoted pretty quickly. And I think being a networker and someone that loves to connect with people, I knew exactly where I needed to go when I wanted to develop these things, because I didn't have that skill set. And you see all of these things, do it yourself. No, my head would have exploded. It would have exploded. It would have, the emoji with the,
right.
Or I would have been the skull I would have been dead. But just knowing who to connect with, I think, a lot of business owners, especially small business owners, maybe those of us that are a little bit more competitive, which I'm very competitive, you might want to, you might initially think, well, I need to compete. Like I need to beat out someone. Right now is not the time for that. right now is not the time. The time right now is to connect and figure out who you can give business to help, help you with your business. Right now is the time to connect. And we've, in a sense, it's been thrown right at us, in our face. So the question is, are you going to panic and you're going to buckle, or are you going to reach out and say, okay, I want to create something, but I don't know how to do this portion of it, and I've got all the ideas, but I don't know how to lay the foundation. I think the thing that helped me pivot so quickly is knowing who I needed to go to be able to learn what I needed to learn. I've got you, Mike. I've got my mentor out in New York. And I've got, now I'm connected to hundreds and thousands of fitness professionals across the world because someone saw me doing what I love to do, wearing myself out on the internet, teaching these classes. And they're like, and you're showing me, okay, well, that's great, but how about let's not burn out. Let's, save these. Let's use this footage. Let's, if you're going to be doing this, let's create a way where people can pay for it so that you can, save yourself. So it's almost like I was already doing it, but now I feel like I'm doing it smarter and with wisdom, and, it makes sense. So part of the quick pivot and the quick foundation building, all of that, it was about connecting with the right people. It wasn't, I can't take all of the credit for being able to do this so quickly. But I do take credit of, no, my dad always said I was gonna I was always good at surrounding myself with the right people, and able to discern who's really good at something. It's like, okay, well, I can work with them, maybe I can help them out and stuff like that. So that's all I have to say. That's it.
Well, much success to you. I'm happy to be working with you and have been given the opportunity to be a part of the Go Yo Go journey. When we go out, on the back of that shirt, so people know where to find you.
Huh? Can you see it?
Yeah, turn around. Go Yo Go Fitness, Facebook, Instagram, and goyogofitness.com, right?
goyogofitness.com, and also Go Yo Go Fitness on the YouTube. I'm everywhere.
Everywhere. All right. Well, thanks, yo. I appreciate your time, and we will be in touch.
All right. Thank you so much for having me, Mike.
All right. Go, yo, go. Hey, thanks for tuning in. I hope that information was helpful for you. And just do me a favor and go ahead and click the subscribe button so that you can be notified when new videos like this come up. Again, if you're a small business owner and you're looking to leverage technology to grow and manage your business online, be sure to subscribe to WeMerge Media on YouTube. Again, my name is Michael Damond. I'm the Chief Marketing Consultant of WeMerge Media, and I look forward to catching you in the next video.